Praise God. I want to share something real quick. I shared this on Facebook. I want to share this again. I want to share this on YouTube. I want to be sure. I want to be sure this get out. I'm going to title this thing, I'm Not Resisting. Get paid. Go home. I'm not resisting. Get paid. Go home. There's too many of our young black men and young black women is getting killed by police officers. But this is what the Spirit of God put in my spirit, y'all. People have to realize, cops, they're people. They're people. Men and women got issues, men and women like everybody else. But they have the position of these jobs with authority. They have authority positions. But they're people and they have issues, they got problems just like everybody else. And what the enemy is trying to do, the enemy is trying to start a race war. That's what Spirit of God dropped in my heart, dropped in my spirit. The enemy is trying to start a race war. But we have to realize these people, they're human. I mean, everybody knows that. They're human. But some of them, they make it bad for everybody else. Some of them got issues. You know, all white cops are not bad. And they got some black cops doing crazy stuff. All kind of different people from different backgrounds are doing some real crazy stuff. Because they're human and they have issues. We got to realize that. We got to realize they have issues. I'm not resisting. I'm not resisting. When these officers come up on these young black men and women, one of the things they're going to say is, stop resisting, stop resisting. See, we got to teach our young black men and women. These folks will hurt you. They will hurt you. They will hurt you. So we got to be wise in what we do. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. Well, somebody might say, well, if you don't fight, or if you don't resist, they still gonna beat you, and they still gonna hurt you. But see, one thing about it, you'll get paid. Your civil rights is getting violated. You can sue them for that. Then the greatest thing, you go home to your family. You see your family. Your family will see you. You see your wife, you see your kids. You live another day. You live to go on. But if you sit there fighting and you sit there cussing and acting crazy, it gives these people a reason. Some of these folks, they're like a time bomb ready to explode. Some of them having issues at home. They're having problems at home. So now they run across you cussing and fussing and calling them all kind of their name. It gives them a reason to act more crazy. Now I'm talking about the bad ones. The bad cops, the bad cops. So what we have to do is be wise. And I'm praying that you guys share this post, share this. If you get stopped by the officer, let them see your hands. You know, it doesn't make you less of a man or less of a woman when you surrender to an adverse situation. Your goal is to go home. So when these cops stop you and you know you ain't done nothing, you haven't done anything, show your hands. And you say, look, officer, I'm not resisting. Can I help you? And if he say he can't hear you, say it again. Officer, I'm not resisting. And you say it loud enough. You say it loud enough where people can hear you. Officer, I'm not resisting. Can I help you? And keep your hands where they can be seen. Don't reach for nothing. Especially if that man have his weapon out or that woman have their weapon out, or even have their hands on their weapon. Don't reach for nothing. If you're in a car and that cop tell you, oh, reach for your wallet, reach for your registration, and you know that his hands is on his firearm, or even worse, if he have his weapon out, don't reach for nothing. You keep your hands on the steering wheel and say, officer, I'm not resisting. I'm not going to move. And you say it loud enough where if somebody around, they can hear. Officer, I'm not resisting. I'm not going to move. Will you please get your supervisor? Because I'm afraid for my life right about now because you have your weapon out. See, you got to use the same tactic some of these bad officers are using. That's some of the key words that they use to get off of some of these cases to where they've just flat out killed folks. I was afraid for my life. They were resisting. See, no more of this foolishness. We have to say the right thing. So if you get stopped by an officer, and you know I'm repeating because I want this message, I want this to be shared, because there's too many senseless killings. Like I said earlier, you're not less of a man or a woman if you surrender for a few minutes to find out what's going on in this person's head. Why are they stopping you? What's going on? But the first thing our young black brothers and sisters do, the first thing our young sisters and brothers do, they want to start fussing, cussing, and start saying all kind of crazy stuff. Shut up. Keep your mouth closed. Let the man do his investigation, but your goal is to go home. Well, bruh, I mean, sometimes if you don't fight, I'm repeating myself, if you just let them do what they do, they still gonna hurt you. But see, if they violate your civil rights, again, like I just said, you get paid and you'll go home. You see your family again. But if you sitting there fighting and cussing and hollering, doing all kind of crazy stuff, it's a chance that he might shoot you. All that gotta stop. All that gotta stop. We gotta be wise. So I'm just repeating myself. If you walking down the street and this cop stop you, and you know he's about to do something stupid, I'm not resisting, officer. Can I help you? Make sure he see your hands. Don't put your hand in your pocket. Don't stop running. Because the only thing they're going to do, they're going to call K-9 unit, they're going to call more officers, and when they get to you, they're going to want to beat and fight and hurt you. That's what they want to do. So when that officer stop you, let them see your hands. I'm not resisting. Can I help you? And keep your mouth closed. Well, what's your name? Oh, I'm such and such. I was coming from this way. That's it. Then you go on about your way. You spend about 10 minutes of your time, then you on your way. And then another thing about all that, I'm gonna keep my window rolled up. That crap don't work. Maybe some white guys can get away with that, but black folks ain't gonna get away with. I'm gonna roll my window up. They're gonna breach that window and yank you out the car, because they're gonna write it up that I was feared. They're gonna say I'm fearing for my life, and I was believing that that suspect, that person, is reaching for a weapon. So all that crazy stuff, roll your window down. Keep your hand. You know, when you first pull up, if it ain't raining or acting crazy, roll your window down. Keep your hand where you can see it. Officer, I'm not resisting. Can I help you? If he tell you, reach for your license. Oh, go get your... No, officer, it looks like you have your hands on your weapon. I'm afraid for my life. Will you please get a supervisor? He has to do it. He has to do it. As long as that you are not posing a threat to him. See, that's how they get over. They said I was fearful. They say I'm fearing for my life, and this person was posing a threat. So you got to flip the game, especially if you ain't doing nothing crazy. So if you ain't doing nothing crazy, this officer, I'm not resisting. Can I help you? That way, and you say it loud enough. So if somebody hear you, they'll be able to testify for you and say, that person was saying they're not resisting. I saw their hands. And you don't fight them. People, these folks will hurt you. Some of these people, I mean, they're just like somebody on the streets. They're human. They have issues at home. Some of them are drug addicts. They're taking drugs, so now they get in their car, they're angry with somebody at the house, and they come take out all their frustration on you. And too many of our young black men and black women and men has given them that opportunity to hurt them. Or, God just dropped this in my spirit, some of these guys, they used to get their butt whipped when they was a kid. Now, not all of them, because I'm telling you, they have some real cool, loving white officers. But some of them used to get their tail whipped when they was a kid. Now, they're older, they want to become a cop. And they want to take it out on everybody that used to abuse them and bully them and take advantage of them. But just to reiterate, not all of them are like that. Just a few. They're making it bad for everybody. And it's wrong to kill an officer. It's wrong to kill, period. And it's worse when an officer is killed for something he didn't even do anything. He could be one of the best officers on the street, but just because officer crazy did something stupid, now we're going to take all our frustration on this other officer that had nothing to do with the problems. We got to stop all that. So, I'm hoping you guys share this. I'm not resisting, because their keyword is stop resisting. so they can continue to beat your brain in. But we have to be wise and say, I'm not resisting. Can I help you? And you keep your mouth shut. If they ask you a question, sir, ma'am, I'm going here. This is what I'm doing. And you don't reach for nothing. You let them see your hands. You let them see your hands. Well, they still beat my behind. Well, your civil rights has been violated. You sue the heck out of them. You get paid, then you go home to your family. So think about it. Let's be wise.